Hi guys, it's Mr. Sean. Did you know that over half the people that watch this channel aren't subscribed yet? Did you also know that subscribing is the best and easiest way to help this channel? Please help me get to my goal this year of 1,000 subscribers. It's just a little click for you, but it means an awful lot to me. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
The topic of lost media is all the rage these days. But while everyone and their brother searches for well-known pieces like Saki Sanabashi, Slamfest 99, and old episodes of Doctor Who, there are hundreds, if not thousands of pieces that no one is looking for. These are those pieces. This is lesser-known lost media. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and welcome to volume 39 of Lesser Known Lost Media. I'm your host, Mr. Sean, and today I'm doing some real deep dives into the lesser known lost media. You might be saying, well, this is a lesser known lost media channel, all of your dives are deep dives, but these are really ones that even I had never even heard of, nor had anybody actually recommended them to me. So these are like the unknown of the unknown, and I'm really excited about it today. So if you're new to the channel, why are you starting with number 39? But no worries, you got 38 episodes to watch after this one. What we do is we start with 4 normal pieces of lesser known lost media that you might not have heard of. We have a brief ad break, and then we get to our 5th and spicier piece. So without further ado, let's get going. At number 1, we have Actimates, partially found animatronic voiceovers for VHS, TV, and PC content, circa 1997 to 2000. In 1997, Microsoft introduced a series of licensed interactive dolls known as Actimates. These dolls were able to interact with many episodes of their respective television series from 1997 to 2000. This includes both old and new episodes, or on special Actimates-compatible VHS tapes and special CD-ROM games using a special TV pack and PC pack. In all, 7 characters were released: Barney, Arthur, his sister DW, and the Teletubbies. Now, most of the Barney and Arthur VHS releases from before the shows became Actimates compatible were also made Actimates compatible around this time, with a few exceptions. The dolls could also interact with taped recordings of the television programs recorded onto blank VHS. Barney was the first to be introduced in 1997, which became a success during that holiday season. This was followed by Arthur and DW in 1998, and then the Teletubbies came out in 1999. The Teletubbies were the only Actimates characters that didn't interact with the PC. Also, the Teletubbies required a special radio cartridge to interact with the TV. The dolls were educational tools and gave positive affirmations for correct answers from the user. The dolls were discontinued in 2000, and Microsoft lost the patent rights to the characters not too long afterward. However, despite the dolls and technology being discontinued in 2000, new Teletubbies episodes were Actimates compatible until 2001. The Actimates characters still interacted with reruns of their respective shows from the Actimates compatible years during that time for a few more years, and Arthur and DW could still interact with Arthur VHS releases from 2000 to 2005 that feature episodes from seasons 1 through 4 of the show. This includes some releases by Reader's Digest. Actimates Barney could also interact with airings of seasons 4 through 6 and Barney and Friends on PBS Kids Sprout. Now, as to what exactly is lost, while most Actimates compatible VHS releases have been uploaded to YouTube and the Internet Archive with voiceover audio from the respective characters, while not very many TV episodes have surfaced with any voiceover audio. Some recordings of episodes of Barney and Friends, Arthur and Teletubbies have surfaced on the internet with barcode on the left side of the video frame. Still, they do not contain the voiceover audio from any of the characters. So, based on whether we have the episodes with the barcode or with the audio or whatever, the Lost Media Wiki has, lost, partially found, partially lost, and found accordingly. There's a huge list of content. I do not have time to list it all here, but if you're interested, head on over to the Actimates page on the Lost Media Wiki, and you can peruse what is found, what is missing, what we have a little bit of, what's mostly gone. It's pretty interesting. The thing that stood out for me on this one, this is a personal thing, I didn't know this was real. I had listened to a creepypasta about, basically, long story short, spoilers, this guy buys the Barney Actimates online for his kid and does all this stuff to be able, for the kid to be able to, interact with it based on the old episodes, and as it turns out, he got it so cheap because it was sold to him by a child kidnapping ring who would put like a two-way radio in the Barney to kidnap his kid. So I didn't know that was an actual toy. I thought that was just like the basis of a creepypasta story. So it was kind of interesting to see that it is real and just how much media of it is lost. And yeah, I would have been in like middle school when these things came out, but I somehow just missed, even though I had an elementary school aged sister, like really young at the time, I totally missed that these were a thing. At number 2, we have BTV's Tobaku Mokoshiroku Kaiji, partially found sound comic adaptation of Nobuyuki Fukumoto manga 2011 to 2013. I think I might actually have pronounced all of that correctly. I don't know. Come at me in the comments. So, BTV's Tobaku Mokoshiroku Kaiji was a sound comic adaptation of the Japanese manga series of the same name by Nobuyuki Fukumoto. It was released on BTV, now DTV, mobile phone exclusive video distribution service starting November 1st of 2011 and ran weekly for 54 episodes until distribution ended around 2013. While no video or audio clips of the sound comic ever surfaced since its initial release, some of the information on it can be found through news articles, the scarce Wayback Machine archives of its BTV page, and a fan's detailed blog post on the adaptation. As sound comic implies, the adaptation took pages from the original manga and added various fade and motion effects and voice acting to the panels, not unlike the motion comic adaptation of Chapter 1 of Grappler Baki. Masato Hagawara and Fumihiko Tachiki, I know I got those wrong, voice actors for the main character Kaiji and the narrator in the considerably more well-known anime adaptation of the manga, reprised their roles for the sound comic. The adaptation's theme song was Pistol by Acid Black Cherry. A total of 54 episodes were produced, each one covering a single chapter of the manga, exact length unknown, which were posted on BTV every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Altogether, the adaptation covered the entire Espor arc of the manga, and it is unknown if there were plans to produce more episodes covering the rest of the source material before distribution was ceased. But the sound comic was never released on home video or TV and was only available on a mobile phone/smartphone video service, making it unlikely that any of the episodes were recorded or downloaded from the service in good quality, if at all. So the blog post previously mentioned had included YouTube links to a trailer and the first episode of the sound comic, but both of those videos have since been removed. The adaptation as a whole has been unavailable for viewing for over 5 years now, and with no plans for redistribution or production of more episodes on the horizon, it's looking like this one might stay lost. However, in April of 2023, archive user Tablebox129740 did retrieve and upload the first episode of the sound comic on the Internet Archive. This episode is the only remnant of the sound comic available, and any episodes of the sound comic are highly unlikely to be retrieved or found as years go by. Now, unbeknownst to most people, however, the Internet Archive user Media Monster had uploaded that episode months prior to the Internet Archive as well. In addition, the episode can be viewable and downloaded on Mega. I've always thought sound comics were a little interesting because it's like, well, we didn't want to make a full cartoon, but we wanted to adapt this comic. I've seen it done. I've seen more like motion comics, more so than sound comics. There was a X-Men story arc that did it. I think Watchmen did it, and in a lot of ways, it's more like a comic just being put into an AI animation program, and so that the characters kind of move and talk. But I did have a lot of, when I was a kid, there were these books that were like children's books, and they came with cassette tapes that you would put, and it would kind of read the book and do sound effects as you like read along with it. And because I couldn't read at the time, I just kind of memorized to the point where when you needed to turn the page, there'd be ding, and I would be able to recite the book cover to cover, including the dings, not being able to read, which was kind of funny. And this kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, there's a lot of lost media out there from things that were on mobile services, or like the Sega channel even, or there's a lot out there that once the service ends or decides to get rid of the thing, we just don't have a way to get it anymore, and that's kind of sad. Coming in at number 3, we have Ringuzune, Lost Unreleased Vocaloid Voice Bank from 2011 to 2012. So, you probably know of Hatsune Miku, who is the most famous of the Vocaloid voice banks, but Ringuzune is a Japanese language voice bank that was announced for the Vocaloid 3 singing synthesis software, say that 3 times fast, during its pre-release promotions. She was developed by the group Vocaloid Next. The release date of December 12, 2011 was initially confirmed, but Ring ended up not being released on that date. A male counterpart named Hibiki Louis was also planned, although it is unlikely that development on Louis had ever even begun. So as to a little bit about this voice bank's development, in 2011 the Everyone's Vocaloid Project contest was held, where people sent in potential designs for both Ring and Louis. Design submissions from both Asia and overseas were allowed in the contest. In May of 2011, the winning design for Hibiki Louis and Ringuzune had been decided upon and were later announced at Vocaloid Festa 02. It was also announced that Mika from the band Daisy X Daisy would be the voice provider for Ring. Ring had been set to be released in the winter of 2011 and was confirmed as a Vocaloid 3 voice bank, meaning that she would release no earlier than September. One demo song for Ring's voice bank was uploaded both to YouTube and the Japanese video sharing site Nico Nico Doga, and it was later confirmed that Ring would be released on the 12th of December that year. However, Ring never ended up releasing on that date. At Voca Fair in 2011, Suzuki Ryuji, the only known employee of Voca Next, talked about Ring and a rhythm game she was to star in, nicknamed VFS. Footage of the game was shown. The game used the Vocaloid 3 engine to render Ring's voice live during gameplay. Now, in 2012, Voca Next picked up Ring's voice bank to continue development and improve upon it. They also brought Liu into it, stating that they plan to make him a Vocaloid as well. Auditions for Liu's voice provider were supposed to take place in 2012, but there have been claims that the auditions had never actually happened. Now, in February of 2012, a beta trial version of Ringsuzune's voice bank was offered to the participants of Vocaloid Network, a small-scale fan event that took place on March 11, 2012. Only 18 fan groups showed up to the event. The voice bank was supposed to be sent to anyone who was interested, although this never ended up happening, and the trial voice bank only lasted a month. In 2013, Vocanex's website became inaccessible, leaving the status of Ring's development at a standstill and the possibility of a proper release unknown, although very unlikely. In late September of 2014, a message was sent to PowerFX asking if they could resume the Ring and Louis project. PowerFX replied saying that they have already attempted to resume the project, but when they contacted Yamaha, they were told that a release was not possible, although a reason as to why was not stated. Later in 2015, an email was sent to Yamaha who stated that the Ring could not be released because of many obstacles. Other companies have not yet been asked about or have revealed their curiosity in public. PowerFX in an email in 2018 confirmed that a new team has taken over PowerFX. In that same email, they said because of the change of management, they will be discontinuing all development of all PowerFX Vocaloids. This confirms that Ringuzune is forever abandoned. Now, as previously stated, there were people given the official demo at the fan event, and some of these people did use that in the month they had it to make songs using Ring's official demo. If you'd like to head over to the Lost Media Wiki page for Ringuzune, there is a list of links that can be found for these songs. Now, there are also several mixes on YouTube with a synthetic voice that is said to be Louise, but this is very likely to be fake. As stated before, it's pretty sure that his Vocaloid voice box, whatever, was never worked on. This one is interesting to me because of just how much went into this before it was abandoned, how they kind of never really stated why it was abandoned, especially when so much of this went into this was due to fan involvement. So it just seems weird that this project got canceled when there is a lot of interest in Vocaloids, and who knows, this Ringuzune could have been the next Hatsune Miku, but we'll never know. At number 4, we have Donkey Does F1, partially found photos of Shrek character inflatable at Formula 1 races in 2004. During Jaguar Racing's final season of Formula 1 in 2004, one of its mechanics took an inflatable Shrek character, Donkey, won as part of a contest held by Rabina to F1 events. From the Belgian Grand Prix to the season finale at the Brazilian Grand Prix, the inflatable would be present in the F1 paddock, with numerous photos being taken of it. So Jaguar Racing was a Formula One team owned by Ford that competed in Formula One from the 2000 to 2004 seasons. After generally underachieving in the sport, Ford considerably lowered the team's budget for its final season before the team was sold and became Red Bull Racing from 2005 onwards. In an attempt to gain positive PR, Jaguar would engage in a variety of stunts throughout the season, including promoting the film Ocean's 12 at the Monaco Grand Prix by inserting two $30,000 diamonds on the nose cones of each car, driven by Mark Webber and Christian Klein. After Klein crashed out on the opening lap, the diamond of his car went missing and was never recovered. Oof, that is a costly promo stunt. Later that season, a team member entered a competition held by Rabina, which was giving away thousands of prizes related to the upcoming animated film Shrek 2. They were victorious, with their reward being an inflatable of the character Donkey. In an attempt to boost morale and distract themselves from the very possibility that they would be made redundant following the season's conclusion, a mechanic according to Tim Mallion, stole the inflatable, with it traveling from the team's headquarters in Milton Keynes to Spa-Francorchamps. I know I didn't say that right. Initially, the inflatable was to have been exclusively present at the Belgian Grand Prix for a single photo shoot. However, it became a symbol of the resistance for the team, who were increasingly disillusioned with the running of the team, which reached to a boiling point when Ford announced on the 17th of September that it would put Jaguar up for sale, potentially risking over 300 jobs. While Jaguar's PR team banned the inflatable from appearing at any subsequent races for fear it would damage the team's reputation, Donkey would travel to the remaining races for more photo shoots. This includes photos of it being within the cockpits of each constructor's car, as well as lighthearted and occasionally risque interactions with other team members. At the season finale at Brazil, it was announced the inflatable would be auctioned off to help benefit children in need. Therefore, its owners requested that the majority of drivers plus Formula One CEO Bernie Ecclestone sign the inflatable, which they all agreed to. The only driver that did not was Michael Schumacher, because for unknown reasons he was not invited to. Nevertheless, the 2004 champion and Ferrari driver would be involved in a humorous moment during the end of the season photo session, where upon noticing teammate Rubens Barrichello had placed Donkey on his seat, proceeded to sit on Barrichello's lap, much to Barrichello's and other drivers' amusement. After being sold for children in need, Donkey would again be put up for sale in December 2005. The whereabouts of the inflatable as of the present day remains unknown. So what exactly is lost? Well, the majority of photos would be available on the official Donkey Does F1 website, although at least one depicting the inflatable with two Jordan mechanics was removed for being too risque. The site would later be taken down, and although archived by the Wayback Machine, most of the links to the photos present on the site cannot be accessed. Additionally, a CD containing all the photos exists, but its whereabouts are unknown. Honestly, this one's just interesting to me because while I have no interest in Formula One racing, this kind of thing that kind of, galvanized a team that was on its last legs, and, it was just a simple inflatable Shrek character that really got this out, boosted morale, as opposed to their weird stunt with $300,000 diamonds, one of which went missing, But, I don't know, this one just puts a smile on my face, and I hope someday that, one, they figured out where this inflatable went, and two, that they find that CD with all the photos. Alright guys, you know what time it is. It's the time where I do my own little ad break. I wanted to let you know that when I release volume 40 of this, most likely next week, there will also be a giveaway of some sort. I haven't entirely figured out what's being given away, whether it's a miniature, a figure, something, but in honor of 40, the upcoming 40th episode of this series, there will be a giveaway, and of course that will be over on the community tab where you can leave a comment to enter the giveaway. I have been noticing these videos have been getting less views lately. We used to be averaging, closer like 600 or more. Now we're lucky if we get to 400. So, if your interest in these is waning, please let me know. Please let me know why. I will, definitely want to improve the content for you. And at the same time, other series on my channel are starting to become more popular. If you haven't watched last week's Incel Tears video, that quickly became one of my most viewed and most controversial episodes, with lots of comments. The likes versus dislikes were about 50-50. A lot of people throwing some insults my way, a lot of people saying they enjoyed the video, so that's kind of fun. If you haven't watched that yet, please check that out. But at the end of the day, guys, if you can afford to do so at $1 a month, the best way to make your voice heard is to become a $1 a month either channel member or Patreon patron, and then tell me which series inspired you to do so. People speak with their money, and for just $1 a month, you can easily make yourself heard. And of course, be sure to click the like button, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, check the links, consider buying a mini, and be sure to share this video around. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year, and getting these videos out to more people is how we make that happen. And most of all, the best thing you can do is come back for the next video, because I can't make these videos if you don't watch them. And with that being said, let's get to today's spicier piece of lesser-known lost media. Our number 5 and spicy piece of media today is Le Coucher de la Marée, partially found French pornographic short film from 1896. That's some vintage smut right there. Le Coucher de la Marée, Bedtime for the Bride, is a silent film supposedly shot in 1896. It is believed to be the first pornographic film ever made. All that remains of the 7-minute film is the first minute and 30 seconds, which the Wikipedia article, as of August 8, 2014, states, includes merely foreplay. The film was directed by the mysterious early filmmaker Albert Kirchner under the pseudonym Leer, and made for the photographer Eugene Pirot. It consisted of actress and cabaret performer Louise Willy undressing while an unknown actor sits in the room with her. According to an archived article from the English newspaper The Observer, the first minutes were found in a vault in the Centre National de la Cinématographie near Paris in about 1996. Now, despite being known as the first pornographic movie, few references to this film can be found, and the Internet Movie Database lists several movies with the same title from about the same time. It is likely these are foreign release dates for the same film. Ironically, Albert Kirchner, in collaboration with film historian Michel Kosiak, produced the 12-scene Passion du Christ, The Passion of Christ, in 1897, which also appears to be lost. This makes Kirchner not only the first pornographer, but also the first director to depict Jesus in a film. Something tells me this guy would love the Hamlet 2 scene with the song Rock Me Sexy Jesus. To me, this one's interesting because I just can't wrap my brain around whether or not I believe that it makes sense that the first pornographic film ever has been lost, or if I'm shocked that it was lost. I mean, between purity laws, censorship, and all that, it kind of makes sense that this one would go missing, but at the same time, it feels like somebody or a group of people or multiple individuals would have saved this for posterity. Whatever you feel about adult films and video content, it is a huge part. Pornography is a huge part of society, a huge part of culture. It has shaped a lot of things. There's been social norms that have changed. There have been laws that have come into place both to censor and to protect freedom of speech based on this kind of content. So it's interesting to me that the majority of what was only a 7-minute film is gone. It does, again, I've used this term before, but historically significant pornography is a weird term to use, but I think it applies here. Also, the fact that he was also, the Kirchner was also the first person to depict Jesus on film is just also giving me vibes of that lost gay Jesus pornographic film. It's just interesting, early film, or early cinema was a weird business to be in, all right? And I hope someday we find this in a private collection, just so that we know we have it in its entirety. And that's going to be the video, guys. Again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check the links, maybe buy a mini, consider joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube channel member. And of course, I would just like to thank my wonderful, beautiful patrons that I currently have. We are a small legion, but a mighty legion, and that is J-Dog and SJ Drifter 72. Again, please be sure to check out all of my Patreon and member options. I have several tiers available, each with their own unique set of benefits. And until next time, everybody, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Chimera Miniatures, and I hope that all of your pornography is well archived and not lost to time, and that you alpha great day, and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye!